It's just Bruce, he don't bite. Hello.
Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I got another video coming tonight. Tonight is about Star Wars toys. I figure it's been a really bad weekend for basically America and everything that's going on, and I don't want to talk about current events anymore. So I'm going to talk about something that makes me happy, which is Star Wars toys. I know I did a video the other day saying that I'm done with Star Wars, but I was talking about the movies and I'm talking about Disney. If you want to see that video, go ahead back and watch it. But I'm not done with the Star Wars toys of my generation. But yeah, it's been a bad weekend, so I want to do something happy. I want to just, I restored this for this gentleman, and I want to talk about it. And I think you'll probably saw in the title what it is. But yeah, the weekend's horrible. Today, I ruined my keyboard. I spilled Red Bull all over it, and it's not working. I cleaned it out, dried it, and hopefully, I'm hoping it'll dry out completely and work tomorrow. But always have an external keyboard for your laptop. That way, if you do spill crap on it, all you gotta do is pay $20 to get another keyboard. That's a whole other story. Today we're talking about the Tantive V. Some people call it the Blockade, or I'm sorry, it's a Tantive IV. Stupid Roman numerals. Anyway, a lot of people call it the Blockade Runner. Here's a picture of it, right there. I'm not used to using multiple cameras. Okay, give me a break. I got one here, I got one there, I got one there. So anyway, a Tantive IV. Go ahead, laugh at me. I don't even care anymore. This particular one is made in 1997, and I believe it's by Hasbro. I could be wrong. I don't know. It's I know it's a newer toy. I do the vintage toys. Looking at, yep, distributed by Hasbro. 1997, says so on the bottom. And we never got this in the 70s and 80s. We never got it, which you'd think we would get it because it was the very first ship you saw in Star Wars. Not New Hope, no, Star Wars, 1977, Star Wars. It was the very first thing you saw, was Princess Leia's ship. And I would put a video clip up, but I don't want to get copyrighted, so if you've seen the movie, you should know that scene, especially if you're a big of a fan of those movies as I was. So let's take a look at it and see what we got. So here it is in front of me. This is well, not really a friend. It's a customer of mine that got a hold of me on Facebook and wanted to know if I could restore this and get the electronics running. Like I said, it's from 1997. It's pretty nice, as you can see. It looks like a standard Blockade Runner. Power of the Force 2 is not really my favorite thing in the world, but we never got this as vintage as, you know, in the 70s and 80s, which is my specialty. So I said, sure, I'll take a look at it, and it really wasn't in bad shape. It was pretty dirty. This particular one, it doesn't have much. I mean, sure, it looks good. It's the only one they got, so. But this is it. But this one has the electronic sounds, and that's what wasn't working. So I had to get in there and clean everything out. It was just dirty and worn. That's all. I don't know if you can hear these sounds or not. They're not very loud. Well, now it gets louder whenever I'm doing a video. And that's basically the only sound you get. These all light up when I hit a button. I don't know if it's going to come on this camera or not. We'll try. You can kind of see it. You can kind of see it. I'm not very good working with multiple cameras. I mean, it's a nice piece considering we never got this. There was a prototype that I have learned about. I don't even know what year it was. It was definitely vintage. Prototype that I had worked on. I should have got a picture for that because I know it's easy to find. I think, actually, my buddy Junkman might have done a video about the prototype Blockade Runner or Tantive IV or maybe Carillion Corvette. I think it's also called a Carillion Corvette. Akbar called it that in Return of the Jedi. But as far as play value for this, I mean, it's okay. You can't put a pilot in it. You can't. It's really not much to do with it. It's nice display piece, though. I mean, this is going to look good on the shelf now that it's all nice and cleaned up. Like I said, I didn't really have to do anything to this. That's why I didn't do a video of how I restored it. I tore it apart, You know, a couple screws here, there, and there. Got in there, cleaned out the electronics, put new batteries in it, cleaned off the terminals. That's all I really had to do, so it's nothing really to brag about as far as my skills of, you know, restoring something or repairing it. But it did come out nice, and I think he's going to be happy with it. He's going to pick it up tomorrow, but I thought I'd talk about it a little bit. I'd like to know, though, why didn't we get this in the late 70s, early 80s? It was the very first ship we saw on the intro to Star Wars, and younger people are going to call it A New Hope. But it was the very first ship we saw. You know, and even the Star Destroyer, the Imperial Destroyer, we didn't get one of those till later either. And I always wonder why. I mean, they were cool ships. We got the X-Wing, of course, and you know the whole history. If you're watching this video, you're probably into the toys like I am. Just curious why we didn't get it. This, you know, it doesn't move the guns. You have to move them manually. You know, and that's cool. You can use your imagination and do what you got to do. There's guns on the bottom here. And another little radar array or whatever they're called. That's about all there is to it. But as far as the way it looks really good. Like I can picture this hanging up, you know, just hanging on the ceiling or something with some fishing line and some hooks or something like I do with some of mine in my toy room. But other than that, I don't know. What was the play value? That's my thing. But it looks good. And he's going to be happy with it, and that's all that matters, because I say collect what you want. Don't put other people down for their collections. I'm not putting him down for his collection at all. This is his thing, not really mine. But I do wish we had this back in the 70s and 80s. That's my thoughts on that. There's not much else to say. I know, short video, but that's a good thing. I'm not going to go on for an hour and a half. Like I said, 1997, believe it's Power of the Force 2, made by Hasbro. Not much else to tell you. Not much else to tell you. It doesn't do anything funky. It just makes a few noises, and that's it. Now, I do have a whole room with Power of the Force 2 toys, the ships and stuff that we didn't get, and stuff that I just found along the way that I like. And, you know, I like to display them. I have a really nice Legacy Millennium Falcon. I've done a video about that in the past. A Millennium Falcon, you know, Power of the Force 2, X-Wing, you know, I have most of them because I like the ships. The figures, not so much. I used to have like hundreds of them. I sold all the figures. I just never liked them because they're all like, I just didn't like them. And I think back then they were trying to measure up to He-Man, and it doesn't matter. But people ask me all the time, is like, in this... I still talk funny, don't I? People have asked me what made me start collecting all these things, because I haven't been collecting since I was a child. I started collecting probably about 2004 when we bought this house, actually. And actually us buying this house kind of triggered me collecting. Sure, I had a few things, you know, stuffed in boxes from my childhood that I've talked about in the past. I still have those. But once we moved in here, it's an older house. It's a big house. It's an older house. It also has one of those coal cellars. And of course, it's not used anymore. But back in the day, there was it's called a coal cellar. And what that was back in the 30s, 20s, 30s, and 40s, they used to come to your house and deliver coal for your furnace because they were run by coal furnaces back then. Of course, this whole house has been modernized and remodeled. But anyway, so we saw the coal cellar, which basically the previous owners just had a bunch of junk back there. And it was, you know, like I said, about 2004, and I'm going through there and getting rid of all this junk because, well, we got a hell of a deal in the house, so... And with that, there's going to be stuff you have to do. And one of them was clean out the coal cellar, which that was a bitch of a job, by the way, too. But way in the back, covered in a bunch of garbage, mold, and everything else, I saw this little guy. This little guy right here. He was made 2002. 2002 by Hasbro. And it's supposed to talk and everything like that. It was filthy, but I love Yoda, and I thought he was cool. Let me show you. Well, I don't have to show you real close. This is him. It's a talking Yoda. This guy has never talked for me. I have torn this guy apart. I have used all my knowledge on restoring things. Could never get him to work. See, his little mouth moves. He still has all the mechanics and everything. Everything's clean. New batteries. I cleaned all the terminals. Cleaned out the electronics best I know how. He's never uttered a word. And maybe some of you have this in your collection. Mine doesn't work. That's kind of why I started restoring toys, too. Because of this guy. This is the only thing I've ever failed at. And I haven't given up. I just put them on a shelf for a while. But after that, then I started just looking at my old Star Wars stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I really want to start collecting. And I did that on my own. I didn't do it because it's popular on the internet. I didn't even have my Star Wars YouTube channel or anything back then. But yeah, this little guy here just sparked some kind of a bug. And I wanted all the vintage stuff. And I collected it. And if you've ever seen my toy room, I've done my toy room a couple times in these videos. I kind of went a little nuts. So here we are, what is it, 10 years later? But anyway, all the restorations I've ever done in this shop right here, this is the only one I have failed at. And I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know why it's not working. Every once in a while I tear them apart again, try to figure it out. One of these days, I'm going to get this guy. I'm going to get him to work. Because I don't give up so easy. I might put it on hold for a while, but I don't give up so easy. He's nice and clean. I just don't know why it doesn't work. Actually, if anybody's ever restored one of these guys, let me know, because I need help. Usually I'm helping the other people. I need help this time. All right. Video's long enough. You guys have a good night. Hope life gets better for you. And we'll catch you next time. Bye.
It's just Bruce. He don't bite. Hello.